Good morning, and welcome to Life Coaching Classes and Videos by Universal Recovery 360. It is Easter Sunday, and I was at church, but it was a bit too much. So I decided to come here and meditate and use that time that I was going to use here with you. There's a song, I think Jadakiss made it. It's called Not About the Money, but it also talks about principles and all that stuff. That beyond that, I'm not talking about all that stuff, just the not about the money part. We live in a society that has created, right, a need for money, right? And that need, they have been able to monopolize on the desire for money. But it's not about the money. It's necessary, of course. You'll find that when you have what you need for who you are, right, you're good. You're never going to find that if you think it's about the money. There's a lot of things I want to do. And the overall outcome is going to look, hopefully, right? And that's not pride. That's happiness you see in my face. Apologize for the sunglasses. I'm really not big on sunglasses because I believe you need to look in people's eyes when you're talking to them. As a matter of fact, apologies. So, what I mean by that is, you will never, right? You'll never be happy if you don't know what it takes, right, to satisfy you. Basically. Right? And I'm not saying that I have a lot going in, because if I was born, right, in a different life, one of spoils, right, maybe I won't be this person, right? Maybe my mindset would follow that father's or that mother's, I don't know. But I know this, right? What I have found, right, is myself driving down the street, like singing, right, during times that I should be stressed out. Or I used to get in trouble for this when I was young, right? They would always say, when something happened, right, they would always say, look at Purnell, he's smiling, he did it, right? Because I couldn't stop smiling no matter what it was. It could have been the worst thing ever, right? But if you looked at me, I would smile. And it almost seemed like I was guilty, or in my mind, I just didn't understand how to care about it. So I would smile, right? Because I thought it was funny that we all stand around, right, questioning and investigating, right? Just tell the truth. I wasn't telling the truth back then either, but I thought it was funny. I was learning, right? So make sure you understand I'm not separating myself from the happenstance that happened back then. So, right? So anyway, I used to always get in trouble because I used to smile and never take things personal. Now, it kind of generates on the level of like a sociopathic kind of thing where technically or by definition, right, things, bad things, right, make me happy, and good things I just don't like, right? It's like a twist of something, right? But if I'm not smart enough to know that I have a twist of something and I can't like project out of it, right? Then what sense is it for me to be here and do what I'm trying to do? So I know better. I'm just saying, growing up, I didn't. So to this day, right, that smile, right, was like peace, right? When I think back, it was like I didn't have no quarrels because it wasn't me. Right? I didn't want to get involved in it because I knew it was a routine that we ran. I didn't want to pay, but I couldn't stop smiling. So now I know that some of that might have been based on the fact that truth, right, makes you free. And it makes me free, right? And in my freedom, I found it most pleasant to be happy at best, right? Or in a state of happiness, right? A constant state of happiness. So, right? And don't get me wrong, it don't mean that the other emotions don't flow through me, because they have to. Even if I didn't want them to, they would. And they're wrong because they're conditioned to. They're part of me. Right? I just don't present with them. Like, if I'm sad, I'm still going to present with happiness, right? Because it's my choice on what I do. My flesh makes its choice on how it feels, but it's my choice on what I do with that. I learned that from telling myself the truth. Okay? So, people don't understand why most religions say things like, if you don't get it right this time, you're going to come back, right? Starting from scratch without any information or knowledge of your previous life. Right? And then they have people that have gotten it, right? And so that therefore, that means, right, that when they come back, they're aware of their previous lives. And people are born again all the time, even while the heart's still beating. Born again is a spiritual process. It has nothing to do with this flesh or that mind, that thing, right? I'm going to tell you another secret to why they say thinking, reasoning, willing, and understanding, call not these the soul, for they are its actions and not its essence. Do you know what that is? It's like a video game, right? So the soul has the ability to use thinking, right? To get you to see things that it's trying to tell you. The soul has the ability to use reasoning, right? To get the flesh. When I say you, I mean the flesh. All of us, me, flesh, right? To see. The soul has the ability to use the reasoning, the willingness to do it. The soul has, it's using all these things to try to get the flesh, right? To see the right way to go. It's using it like a video game, like it's not connected to it, like it's controlling it. Message. Jeez. There's a reason you can't say the whole truth on certain things to people. Why you use parables. You don't lie, because the intent's not to deceive. The intent's to get you to figure it out for yourself, because it is in your best interest that you understand it from a you perspective and not from a me perspective. Right? That's a parable's reasoning. And so people do that, right? Hoping, right, that you will figure it out. And instead, it gets so frustrating to some of us, right, that you just tell them, right, from your perspective. And not only do you destroy half their life, right, but you cut a hole in your own soul because you know you wasn't supposed to do that. Even though there was no intent, right, there was an action, and you're accountable to it. Right? Everything this flesh does, I'm accountable to it. If somebody cut their hand off, I get to feel what that feel like. I'm accountable to it. Right? But that doesn't mean it owns me or I own it. Right? You're just accountable to it. Use the definition for what it is. Right? It's like government, right? Freedom. They say people want freedom, right? But what they really want is order, structure, and all this crap, right? No. That's internally. That's not countrywide. Jesus. That's why I smile so much. Good Lord. How you turn an inside job into a worldwide situation? Freedom. Now, I heard one prophet say, I do give respects and honors to Noble Drew Ali. I think he was a bright source of my history. Right? Held up 2 books and said, this is everything it takes to save a nation, just like they do it now, right? He said, take it, right? It's everything you need to save a nation. He said, take it and save yourself. And you know what everybody did until this day? Continuously try to save a nation instead of themselves. How fucked up is that? They're so caught up in the world, right, that they say they're not of, right? They can't see the damage they're doing by not following the principles they claim. When you save yourself, you save the nation. But you have to save yourself first. Nobody to take time to do that. Nobody. Because we all think we saved. By grace. Which is true. For up there. In here and in here. Right. On this, you have to free yourself from it. There's no getting around that. You create your own, or what is called sovereignty. The problem is that this government will tell you that the minute they allow people to do whatever they think or feel, those people do not in goodwill respect themselves and others. So there has to be some form of order when you look outside yourself. And that's where the confusion comes from. This is an inside job. If everybody was able to do it, we wouldn't need to be here. Somewhere along the lines we forgot. And we fell. But we can remember. It's almost like drugs. You think the fall made you forget. No, we forgot way before the fall. Mm. That's what caused the fall. But just to be by definition of forgotten, right, means we can remember. But that's an inside job. Nothing external can help you with that, except for wisdom. But you have to know the difference between something somebody's telling you and something you know. You have to know the difference if you're the someone that's telling between giving them you, which is pride, and giving them what they need, which is humility. There's a difference. Right? No matter how serious I get, right? Happiness rules this. This is all ruled by happiness. I have to cut this because it's going to make it easier, right, for me to upload it, right? Hoping you'll take time to look at it. Pray for me, of course, right? Don't get me wrong, right? I believe in truth. I believe in the Father. I believe in nature. I believe in the Mother, right? I believe in what I was trained and brought up in, right? Not just because I was trained and brought up in it, because it was there for me to train and be brought up with. You understand? Hey, the things we believe were always there before the trouble. It's just like drugs. This is addiction. That's why Universal Recovery 360 said recovery should be for all who seek it. All who seek it. Apologies. I did say we had to go. Peace. Love you.